So I'm doing something a bit different today, filming in public. But it's not the topic I'm going to be talking about in this video. But like filming in public actually helps with talking for public speaking actually. So then you learn to not care what people think and so forth. So that's what it helps a lot. And I've been doing on and off for a little while. So it's kind of like a little helping factor too. And also talking to a camera helps a bit too. But what I want to talk about today is like, why do we always get let down in relationships? So this is something we've all been through. It's like, it's a continuous cycle we all stepped into. And some of the things that I've started to come across is that because we strive so much to be perfect, right? So then we're thinking by, finding someone else that's perfect, that, it's going to help us become perfect too. And in saying that, it kind of makes us to, because we struggle so much with our own imperfections, we can't accept it. So then we find someone else that's, quote unquote, what we call perfect, because we only see green flags at the start. And then we kind of, we get along into, a couple months into the relationship, and then we see all these red flags that come up that are already there. And then we're like, oh crap, and then we start to get let down and so forth. And then because we can't accept our own imperfections, we can't accept someone else's. So when that comes up, we're like, okay, we're not in love anymore. Like, it's kind of over, and, all these other things. And it's like this, when you think about it, it's like, as I was saying, is that because when we only look at the green flags, relationships are so great over the short term, because we think, the short term's the long term. Right, and then once the imperfections come up and we can't accept it, we kind of like, oh, okay, this is not the relationship for me, even though those imperfections were there from the start. So it's like it kind of comes down to our own inner work. It's like, if we can't accept our own imperfections, we struggle to accept other people. So learning to, I guess, love your imperfections, accept where they are, learning to work through them and so forth, because we're all just a big ball of imperfections. And once we learn to accept our own imperfections, we can learn to accept someone else's imperfections. And then we can, instead of loving someone for like all the green flags, we can love someone for the wholeheartedly of who they are. And I think that's what we need to get to. So that also comes back down to, loving ourselves, accepting everything for who we are, and that kind of thing. So like the next time you step into a relationship, think when those imperfections come up, be like, hey, where am I not accepting myself in? Before we go, okay, I'm done. Look at yourself before, not accepting someone else's imperfections. What am I not accepting with myself? So everything always comes back to self, because what's going on in our inner world is what we project out onto the outer world kind of thing. So yeah, it's something to think about. So that's kind of some of the reasons why we get let down a lot in relationships. So I hope in this video kind of helps you think about these things before jumping into them, or when they do come up, kind of thing, because it's something I've started to think about. It's like, oh, okay, the reason why I'm getting let down because I haven't accepted that part of myself, and it comes up and shows up in someone else. So yeah, take that time to think about it.